Hello and welcome back to Elevation 44. I'm Beverly, or B, and if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, family. Today we are diving into our Virgo season goals, okay? So in this video, we're going to talk about some goals, some activities, some different things you can do to capitalize on Virgo season's energy to up-level your life, right? Because we're all about pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones, glowing up, elevating in the best way possible. And that starts with micro steps, little things. The little things. Sometimes we want to look at the big things and we get discouraged because we're like, shoot, I'm here and I want to be over here. How do I do that? So through these videos, the point is about really taking those small incremental steps and using the season's energies to support those incremental steps so that we can have a longevity and long-term progress, okay? So sometimes we just need to focus on one foot in front of the other, and that's a big lesson that I've received lately, just to slow down and to just be more mindful of all the small steps that go into the larger journey. So I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos so far. I think this is our fourth one, and I want to continue this train, this pattern. Let's keep it going because I found them helpful. To be honest, some months I am like boom, 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 like really hitting on the goals, and then sometimes I'm really struggling to keep that consistency. So I'm just gonna be totally 100. My goal is to push myself, but sometimes, it's just really not possible to get it all done. So do what you can, but try. Just try. That's all I ask, all right? So like I said, today we're going to talk about Virgo season and some of the ways that you can glow up in this season. And Virgo season typically falls between August 23rd and September 22nd, okay? So Virgo season is known to be the organization energy, and I think that's why I'm a Capricorn rising, but I love all of the earth signs in terms of their seasons. When those earth seasons come around, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, I really relish in it. Organization is my jam, and Virgo is really good for that. It also coincides with the start of usually, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, it coincides with the start of our school year and like just kind of a kickoff to a busy season because fall is the fourth quarter. For a lot of people, that's like the most busiest time of the year in terms of getting all the things done. So this is great, perfect energy to intro into all of that, into Q4 for a lot of people, school, work, all of those things. So this organization energy is going to run as a theme through this video. It's going to be one of the major components, okay? So like I said, Virgo season is great for organization, focusing on practicality, self-improvement, attention to details, because that Virgo energy really likes to analyze. It's meticulous. It likes to pick those things apart. So let's use this to our advantage for all the things that we need to really push forward this particular season, okay? We can also use this energy for refining our routines, our systems, because Virgo is the ruler of the sixth house, which is health. It's our day-to-day work and our routines. So this energy helps us support really like just making all of that a little bit more systemized, a little bit more practical, a little bit more efficient, okay? So enhancing our well-being, improving our personal and professional lives are all themes that we're going to touch upon as we set our goals and look at activities that we can do in this season, okay? So here are some of the things in terms of goal setting you should definitely tap into for Virgo season. And this particular video, I'm only going to focus on setting 3 goals, right? Number 1, it is a busy time of the year for a lot of us, and I want us to be able to not feel bad about like hitting all the things. Like, we can do what we can, but let's scale back in terms of the number of goals we're going to push forth, because these are some pretty big areas. That being said, let's go on ahead and tackle the first area of focus, which is organization and routines, okay? So this is all about focusing on those systems that we have in our lives to basically either guarantee our success or not, right? It was James Clear who said in his book, Atomic Habits, that we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems, right? So if we don't have strong systems in place, which are those day-to-day small actions, small decisions that we're making, we pretty much can count ourselves out of the race from the jump, right? And when we look at a lot of times when we're not making progress and stuff like that, it's because we're not organized and we're not using the proper systems to support ourselves. So this area of focus is all about looking at those routines, looking at our systems, and getting physically, mentally organized, all right? So here are some things under this bucket, okay? We're all about creating efficiency and structure in our daily life. So one of the things that we can do under here is decluttering the space, all right? This is like the physical, practical side of it in terms of like, what do we need to organize and declutter in our home, in our workspace, or even in our digital space? Because let's be honest, these emails pile up. You know, we can have a bunch of different files and tabs open and things everywhere and not organized. Sometimes when we're moving and it's like we're trying to get all the things done, we're not taking the time to organize and put things into a flow or into a system. And we think that we're saving time by just quickly moving on to the next thing and saying, oh, I'll come back to that or whatever. But it actually costs us more time in the long run as we're looking for things, as we feel disorganized, as things feel cluttered. I don't know about you, but for me, when my space is cluttered, that's a direct reflection of what's going on in my mind. And in order to operate in my best self and, just be, like I said, efficient in my day-to-day life, I need structure and organization in like what my physical space looks like. So decluttering is important. So if you have not done this before, get on the way. Just try it and see what difference it makes, like tidying up, throughout the week and making sure that things are, in the appropriate place. Things are clear, things are relatively clutter free. If you need to go organize files, if you need to do like some storage stuff and label your storage things so you can find things, create those systems to maintain order, okay? Another tip here is to break down your organization task, right, into manageable steps to avoid overwhelm. So if you realize there's a lot of things that need to be done, okay, and we can use a really, really trivial example in terms of like maybe like maintaining your home, right? There are certain areas of your home that need maintenance, right? If you're not using a cleaning service or you don't have someone taking care of that need for you and that falls on you, maybe you need to create a system like, that the kitchen needs to get certain things done, the bathroom, the living room, whatever, and you break that out into the manageable steps. So, like the bathroom, these are the different steps that you have to do to tackle the bathroom. Boom, that's one room. So you use that same strategy for other areas that you're trying to organize, right? It doesn't have to just be with the home. It could be, like I said, if you're going into a digital cleanup or organization or decluttering, take it piece by piece, create a list, and break that down into manageable chunks or steps. You may not be able to get it all done at the same time, and that's okay, but it will eventually get done if you take those steps, okay? Time management. This is your other area. We need to focus on improving those time management skills. And I will say, I struggle with this in a lot of ways, and I'm getting better, but time management is definitely the one thing that gets a lot of us, okay? So we got to improve those time management skills. Creating a daily schedule. Plan your day with clear priorities. Don't overwhelm your day. You've got to take breaks. You've got to rest, but you also got to get the things done. Know thyself. Know your peaks. Know when you're most efficient in terms of energy, productive in terms of energy. So if you know your productivity and your energy levels and your sharpness mentally is in the morning, plan your day around getting your heavier things done in the morning. And okay, as the afternoon goes on, my energy level weans down. So maybe that's when you kind of maybe make it a little lighter on yourself during that time. So that could mean if you're working like in a particular position where you have to be present and show up, maybe you're mentally doing a lot more work on the front end. And then during that time, you're taking it easy on yourself, even though you're physically present. Now, if you work from home or you create your own schedule, you also have a lot more flexibility there. So do what works for you. Work when your energy levels peak and also when they naturally slow down. Another thing that you can do with time management is use those productivity tools, okay? We have so many different apps, so many planners, so many different things that we can utilize. For me, under the time management bucket, because I have struggled with this so much, I installed an app blocker. I'm not talking about the regular one comes with the iPhone and stuff. I was like, no, I need to take it up a notch, okay? So I can block websites, I can block apps during certain times where I know that I need to be locked in and focused on other things. So do your research, look into apps, look into different systems that can help you also with your time management, whether you need to track time and see how you're spending your time. There's pretty much a solution for anything that we're looking for now, technology wise. So go ahead and utilize those tools, okay? And there's a lot of good free ones as well. All right, planning ahead. All right, Virgo loves to plan. It's very meticulous, looks at the details, sometimes gets caught in those details, but this is a great time to be planning ahead, planning for your months ahead, right? So looking at the big picture, what you want to accomplish, and setting those clear goals ahead, okay? So creating those action plans. Another area, refining your routines in terms of your morning and evening routines, because we know that this is literally what sets us up for success in our day. It's our morning and our evening routines. The evening routine is so important because the way you end your day is how you are going to start the next day. So if you have a strong evening routine where you have a wind down time, you have like a whole thing that gets you calm and relaxed, that you're taking care of certain tasks and you're getting to bed on time, getting adequate sleep, whatever you need, by that next morning, you are refreshed. You have set yourself up for success because you're organized. You already know that you're flowing into your next day on the positive note. That morning routine is also a very important start. Do you need to build in your meditation, your affirmations, getting some exercise? Everybody works a little bit different in terms of, like I said, energy peaks and stuff like that. So adjust your morning and night routine to what works best for you, but also it's really just about creating a system that sets you up for success. It doesn't matter what it looks like for everyone else. Somebody's telling you, oh, you need to do this morning routine like X, Y, and Z. No, you need to do the morning routine that works for you. Okay, so look at your routines and really, really get clear about them. A health routine, all right? So if you're not good health-wise, and I'm not just talking about physical health, I'm talking about mental health, I'm talking about emotional health, I'm talking about spiritual health. If you're not good with your health routine, whatever that looks like, to make sure that those components of your health are in good standing order, you're not going to be good anywhere else. None of the other things that we talk about or we set up is going to even matter because you're not good from within. So refine your exercise, your nutrition habits, your spiritual life, whatever that looks like. And like I said, it could be micro things, just little tweaks. Sometimes it's just the smallest tweak that gets us there, that puts us into a better space. Sometimes it's just taking 5 minutes of quiet time to have meditation and thinking time and breathing before starting your day. That 5 minutes can make a world of difference. So find out what that means for you or what that looks like for you. Your workplace routines, okay? So you need to create habits and routines around your work life to improve your productivity. How are you scheduling out your day in terms of what you're tackling when you're taking meetings, when you're doing your heavy mental lifting, when are you building in breaks, how is your actual physical space organized in the work context, all of that, okay? So use task lists, use prioritization, oh my gosh, had a hard time saying that, prioritization techniques to manage your work more efficiently, okay? So like I said, There's apps, there's different things. There's so much that you can do. If you need ideas, Google ideas, go to ChatGPT, ask for some ideas. There's so many different resources and tools at your disposal that you can use to help you with this process. So this was a big area, and I know I just went through a lot, but let's go ahead and just wrap this up with a bow. So our first goal for Virgo season, our first focus, pick one area of your life to organize or refine a routine to make it more efficient and fulfilling for you. That's it. All right, so that's goal number one. Let's move into our second area of focus, okay, which is prioritizing our health and wellness. And we touched a little bit about this in the first tranche of when we talked about routines, but let's go into this a level deeper, okay? So we do need to focus on our physical and our mental well-being during Virgo season. Virgo season is very health oriented. If you know somebody who's Virgo or has a lot of Virgo energy, they're usually into fitness or health or nutrition or something health related. They really are focused a lot on the health, the body, and all of that type of stuff. So Virgo energy is perfect to dive into health and wellness, okay? So we got to implement some things to make sure that we're good physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of that, all right? So number one, you can take inventory of your current health right now. Where are you health-wise? Be honest with yourself, and I want you to rate yourself in those categories. How am I doing with my physical health, okay? How am I doing with my mental health? How am I doing with my emotional health? And how am I doing with my spiritual health, okay? So in your current health assessment, you may figure out like, hey, I've been eating a lot of junk food. My system feels bogged down, sluggish. I have no energy. Maybe I need to do a detox. Maybe I need to switch up my diet and implement some vitamin and supplements into my routine to help me there, to give me some more energy, to give me the things that I'm missing. My water intake hasn't been good. Maybe I've been drinking a bunch of coffee or beverages that are, not good for me, dehydrating me and different things like that. Maybe I need to up my water intake. You need to look at all those things. You also need to look at the quality of the things that you're putting in. It's not okay just to slide something in, but what is the quality of what you're actually working in to your health and wellness regimen, okay? Mindful eating, again, paying attention to the quality and the sources of your food. Like, what can you implement here wise? Do you need to start doing a meal plan? Do you need to start meal prepping? Do you need to start changing up your recipes or your diet to support you in a better way? Your mental wellness, right? Do you need to add in meditation? And this can go across, mental and spiritual and emotional, right? Because these kind of all work hand in hand. But, are you meditating? Do you need to put that into your routine? Do you need to add yoga? Journaling to get your thoughts out, to work through things that are going on in your mind, all right? You need mental clarity, you need emotional balance. These are important. So start with a few minutes each day. You can start really small. Oh my gosh, maybe I'll do 10 minutes of yoga in the morning, followed by 5-minute meditation, silent meditation, and 5 minutes of journaling. That's 20 minutes. I'm sure that you can find 20 minutes in your day to ensure your well-being, okay? Because our first responsibility is ourselves, all right? Forget work, forget family life and obligations and all the other things that you've got going on. Your first priority is you. So how do you pour into yourself, even in the smallest way every day, that helps you, okay? Self-care practices, self-care routine that, incorporates adequate sleep. A lot of us are not getting enough sleep. Sometimes it's about breaking up with that technology. And trust me, I know it's hard. The phone is always right here. But sometimes we're going to have to say, hey, by this time, technology goes away, laptop goes away, work goes away, all the things stop. And this is when I take time to relax, wind down, so I can get into a routine for sufficient sleep. Also, look into activities that rejuvenate you, okay? So you might find a lot of relaxation in writing or reading or painting or drawing or gardening. These are a part of your self-care practices. It doesn't always have to look like I'm getting a massage and taking, a nice bubble bath. Look at all the ways, listening to music, all the different things that you can incorporate in terms of activities that rejuvenate you. Exercise, rollerblade, go for a bike ride, go for a walk in nature, connect with someone. Find what works for you. The other thing that I could say under this bucket that you can think about doing is chakra balancing, okay? Because again, we're talking about our spiritual health. And so, where do we feel energetic blockages in our body? How can we, work through those things? I have a whole series of how to balance your chakras on this channel. I put those out a couple years ago, and they're still effective today because they're still being commented on. They're still being utilized by so many people. So go ahead and tap into that chakra balancing series. But Virgo season is great for you looking at your root chakra, because the root chakra is the base. It's what connects you and grounds you. Virgo being that earth energy, that will be a good area to even start with. But if you find that the root chakra is not what you're really struggling with, but you're struggling with a different area, use that, particular lens or focus to attack whatever it is that needs to be balanced within you, okay? So you need that stability. You need to anchor yourself in the best way, and chakra balancing is one of the best ways you can do that. So to wrap this entire area up, we'll go ahead and set goal number 2, which is to adopt at least one new healthy habit, all right? If you want to adopt multiple, that's great. Again, pace yourself. Sometimes we want to make all the changes overnight, and then we get frustrated because we then aren't doing all the things that we want to do. But pace yourself. Like, maybe you can adopt a new habit every single week and build upon it like that, instead of just trying to do it all at once, okay? But we're going to adopt at least one new healthy habit during Virgo season, all right? Now, let's get into our last area of focus and goal setting around, which is optimizing our work life, all right? So first we talked about our routines, our systems, okay, which is Virgo focused. Then we talked about our health, which is also Virgo focused. And the last area is work, okay? Because that is the last service, work. That is really our day-to-day work, is a focus of Virgo. So optimizing our work life. Virgo season is perfect for fine-tuning your professional life and boosting your productivity. All right, so again, we talked about this in the start. Organizing your workspace. You got to get into a flow where you have, your a clean workspace, that it's organized. It is, minimizing the distractions around you. And again, it's conducive to your productivity, because we could spend all day doing the things, or we can really have like 2 bang out hours where we're getting a lot of the things done that we would probably drag on an entire day or entire week trying to get done. So focusing on ensuring that your workspace is clean, organized, and conducive to your productivity. Also consider rearranging your desk, filing paperwork, or organizing, your digital files in the way that makes sense, and just minimizing your distractions. Those app blockers, boom, perfect, okay? This is how we get into a better routine. Setting professional goals, okay? So defining your specific career objectives that you want to achieve this season. So whether it's completing a project, acquiring a new certification, seeking a promotion, be very clear on what the professional goals it is that you want to strive after, and creating like little actionable steps on how to make that a reality, okay? Enhancing your skills. Identifying the areas where you can, bump yourself up in skills, right? So what kind of online courses do you need to take? Do you need to do a webinar? Do you need to go to a conference? Do you need to seek a mentor to help you grow in your career? really looking at that and really focusing on what you need to do in those areas. Again, back to boosting our productivity, focusing on increasing our efficiency. So are we using time, like I said, time blocking methods? There's the Pomodoro method. There's different task or prioritization methods. You know, a lot of people love the top 3, setting their top 3 goals for the week or their top 3 goals for the day. Setting deadlines too. A lot of times we're not putting deadlines to our things, especially our personal things, so that we can get them done. So setting deadlines to your actual work and meeting your deadlines. This is how you build trust within yourself as well, okay? And work-life balance. That's really how we're gonna wrap that up. Work-life balance, because we have to set boundaries to maintain healthy work-life balance. So are we allocating enough time for rest and relaxation to avoid burnout? Are we, saying no to the things that really we can't take on and do? And this also extends beyond work and also goes into our personal lives. Like sometimes we have to know when to bend, when to give, when to be flexible. And then other times where we're going to have to be a little bit more firm because we have to protect, again, either the things that we're working on or our own health and wellness, whether that mental, emotional, physical. Sometimes we can very much take on too much and get into a place of burnout, right? So balance is required. What are you doing in that regard, okay? So to wrap this particular section up and this entire video, we're going to set the goal number 3, which is to set at least one professional goal for the season. So like I said, if it's completing a project, if it's improving a specific skill, if it's, getting really, really, really clear in, a workflow or routine or boundaries that need to happen in your work life, that is where we are going to focus. All right. So that is it. Those are your 3 areas. It was a lot. It was heavy. And that's why I'm glad we only set 3 goals. I hope that this video is helpful for you, that these ideas kind of give you, something to play with. And again, these are goals that I'm asking you to set, to provide inspiration for you. Do what works for you. If you want to tweak things a bit, if you want to take things a little bit further, if you want to set multiple goals, if you just want to set, focus on one particular area of all the things that we talked about today, that is totally and 100% okay. Do what works for you. I hope you have a great rest of your Virgo season. I will see you on the other side. There's, other things to come, and I'll definitely see you there. So until then, have a great one, and I'll see you soon. Peace.